Okay, so let's go through now the different components of the skeletal system and what actually makes it up. So why don't we start here and say skeletal system. Okay, so let's look at the different structures that make it up. Okay, so let's start with the bones. Okay, so the skeletal system is going to be made up of bones, and there's going to be two different types of bones that make this up. So let's go through here. We're going to have compact bone. That's a C. Compact bone. Compact bone is also known as dense. It's also going to be known as cortical bone. Cortical bone, and this accounts for 80% of your total bones in your body. So most of them are going to be the compact bone in nature. The other type we're going to have is spongy. Spongy bone. Spongy bone makes up, or it's much more porous in nature, unlike the dense bone or the compact bone. Spongy bone is just that. Think of a sponge in your kitchen. It's very porousy. Okay. Spongy bone is also known as cancellous, also known as trabecular bone, okay? And then this accounts for 20% of your total structure. Now, spongy bone, cancellous bone, or trabecular bone, this is going to be internal to the compact bone. So this is going to be kind of the bone that's the type of bone that's inside the bone, okay? Another structure that makes up the skeletal system is going to be cartilage. Okay, and there's going to be two different types of cartilage. First type is hyaline. And hyaline cartilage is going to be located on the ends of the bones. This is going to be the articulating surface of the bone. This is where you're going to find this. You also find it within the growth plate of bones. So as bones lengthen or grow in length, hyaline cartilage is what you will find there. And hyaline cartilage is also what makes up the developing skeletal system in a fetus. So all of the future bones of a fetus start off essentially as hyaline cartilage model, and then as the fetus develops, it then ossifies and becomes bone as we know it today. Another type of cartilage that we're going to be looking at is going to be fibrocartilage. Fibrocartilage. This is a weight-bearing cartilage, and it can withstand compressive forces. So areas that you will find this will be in structures like your intervertebral discs of your spine. So these are the cushions in between the vertebra of your spine. You will also find them in the pubic symphysis. This is a cartilage found within your pelvis. And you will also find them in structures like the cushions in your knee. These are called the meniscus or menisci. You may have heard of people who have had a torn meniscus. Well, this is what is found in those areas. So these can withstand compressive forces. A couple other structures that we're looking at, part of the skeletal system, we're going to be looking at ligaments. And ligaments connect bone to bone. Okay, so if we were to do this, this is bone to bone. Okay, and this is what, those structures are what helps the bones or the joints to be stabilized. Okay, and another structure yet, let's kind of come down here, over here, and tendons. Tendons are connecting muscle to bone. So when muscles contract, it pulls on the tendon. Tendons are attached to the bone. It moves the bone, and that allows for motion. Okay, so bones, there's going to be two different types of bones really quickly. There's the compact bone or spongy bone. So compact bone over here, or then we have spongy bone. Compact is also known as dense or cortical. Spongy bone, also known as cancellous or trabecular bone. You're going to have two different types of cartilage, hyaline cartilage and fibrocartilage. And then, of course, there's the different types of ligaments, which connect bone to bone, and then there are the tendons, which connect muscle to bone. Okay, so what you will need to learn from this, well, pretty much everything that I've said off of this, okay, that you're going to be responsible for. So the next thing that we're going to discuss are going to be the different functions of your skeletal system. Until then, we'll see you in a minute.